Ocala National Forest today. We're in an area known as Pat's Island, also known as the Yearling Trail, which is, the actual trail is much further over that way. The island is an island of longleaf pine surrounded by a sea of scrub. The pine we'll see in a moment is behind us and around us. It's also now been sort of taken over a little bit by the oak trees over the years as well. The significance of this area was that it was once a homestead of the Long family and the Smith family. Patrick Smith came here in 1854 and homesteaded this area with his wife and 3 children. The Long family came along probably 20 some years later and did the same thing, and then eventually more people joined. But archaeologists have placed these poles with numbers on them to correspond with numbers on a map that they've laid out basically the homestead of the Smith family and the Long family. There's also a cemetery here. Behind us is the Sinkhole, which is where they got their water from. I'm going to take a look at that. I'm not quite sure, looking at it all these years later, how that worked, other than that obviously there's water in here. This thing is enormous, deep. One of the deeper ones we've run across, and accounts say that this was full of water, filled with water. So I don't know, it's all dried up now. Every time I've come back here, it's been dried up. Must be a, I don't know, who knows, the aquifer diverted or something, I don't know. But back in the day, this was their water source, this was their bathing source, this was their fun source. The children would play in here. These roads that we're going to see, that one, this one, are all original roads. And by that I mean this is the roads that, these are the roads that they built out of the wilderness, and they used to move between their home and the Sinkhole, and their home and the river. We're on a rise. This is not a bluff, but this is a rise, a high area, and over that way to maybe four some miles, 4.5 miles, maybe 5 miles at the most, I would think, is the St. John's River. So that's how they came and went. They didn't they didn't go trampling through the scrub 200 miles to get their goods. Further up this road, it's called the Granville Road, I think is what they called it. But anyway, this is the Patrick Smith homestead. I'm imagining that there's probably something remaining, but who knows? Certainly nothing is visible from this area, or from this vantage point, I should say. So the Long family, they had 11 children, came down from North Carolina, and pretty much took this place over. Patrick Smith had not filed for a homestead until after the Long family came and filed for homestead. And of course, I'm sure he did that to protect himself, but the sons built homes near the father, so they would have lived out here quite a while. There's a cemetery, it's called the Long Cemetery down that way. We're going to visit that eventually during this piece. For now, we're going to go down here and see the cattle vat, if we can find it. Excuse me. This is the site of the Long family. Oops. Family field, grazing pasture. 3. Out in here is said to be where they would raise their cattle, livestock. It's all been reclaimed now, obviously, by scrub, but this would have been an area of a lot of activity back in the day.